Good morning, Unblinded Huddle. Welcome. The number one place to be to get your daily dose, integrity-based human influence. Sean, here he is.
Look at Adam Gugino, Mr. Heart-centered, loving, unbelievable, 3 to 700 million. I think kicking off the huddle for the first time, brother. Is that a true reality?
That is absolutely a true reality. And yeah, we're here to create simple, fun, magical, and frictionless environment to free exponential abundance in your money, your time, and your magic. So get it going, Sean.
All right, brother. Hey, listen, so this is the way I want to get it going today. It's Thankful Thursday. My gratitude is immense. What is present for me is the amazingness of possibility. And also today, I want to talk about the micro distinctions. What's a micro distinction of meaning? You know, we talk about the formula, we went through it yesterday, and we use words like micro distinction. And what is very present for me in the huddles is truly like looking at these, what the formula is and breaking it out so people at least have a usable, understandable mechanism. And there's such an enormous distinction. And I'm reading The Motivation Myth for the second time right now. There's such an enormous mistake of the myth of motivation, of energy, of inspiration. And these are fleeting dynamics, motivation, that take us from one moment to another so we can continue putting together all these beautiful mechanisms that are simple, fun, and magical micro distinctions that free exponential abundance in our money, our time, and our magic. And that's what we're co-creating here at Unblinded. So first, Adam, I want people to get to know you even better because you're amazing. So you're one of the most hardworking, relentless, committed humans, integrous people I've ever met in my entire life. Why are you like that? And we're going to get into micro distinction today. Like that's going to be the key takeaway, as well as understanding who and what Adam Gugino is. And so if I could like fast forward the backstory for those that don't know it. So Ben Fox, who's blind, this is, you know, the quick, true version of this. And you want to see the sequencing of how things can come together for you and the power of the steps along the way. We'll get to Adam and then micro distinctions. Okay. So I start doing videos. I read a book by Gary Vaynerchuk called Crushing It. So thank you, Gary. And it's like shoot videos. And that is without micro distinction. And he had micro distinctions in there. So I don't want to belittle his brilliant work. So I start shooting videos and like nothing is happening. And I'm shooting videos and nothing is happening. And I remember Gary Vaynerchuk saying at some point in Crushing It that him remembering those first people, those first dancers, we've talked about the TED Talk of creating a movement and having those first dancers. I'm like, I don't have my dancers. There are no dancers. Like I don't have anybody. Gary's talking about, you know, Mary, Johnny, Susie, the first people that were listening to his work and remembering those days, and there's like 3 of them, right? And I'm like, I don't have even that. And I was in this very room, I was shooting videos called Why Not? And it was just like, it was frustrating. I was pouring my heart into it. But I was just missing some micro distinctions. So we'll come to what those were, right? And so I eventually shift and I start shooting other videos. And I realized that having people in my videos that are part of ecosystems, that has more traction. So at some point, I'm shooting videos, certain things are happening, and certain people start making comments. So I won't tell that entire story today. But one of the people that starts making comments is a guy by the name of Ben Fox, who's blind, and I'm blind. And he was really inspired. He was saying beautiful things. And he eventually asked me to come out to speak at an event. And this is like where you make all your decisions, but with little micro distinctions missing, all the beautiful things you could do can end up not working. And that's where I want to like tie all this in together today. So we go out and Ben says, hey, come to this V-Rate conference out there for blind people. And we love and need you to be a speaker. So I go out and I Well, I'm going to go out and there's a snowstorm and all the commercial flights are canceled. And I'm not getting paid for this. And I certainly don't think this is going to be a business generating thing. But in my heart and contribution, I'm like, let's go. So I say I'm going to rent a private jet, right? And just truth be told, it's like $30,000 to do this. And so I'm like, okay, let's go. So I go out, Ben's blown away, but I also say, hey, let me bring some team members from Caligula Law so we can have an amazing experience together and we can co-create and we can have executive and creation decision-making meeting and make things happen. So on the way out, we're doing that and different people on the plane, and we're talking about being seers and different distinctions and acceleration. So it's an amazing flight out, which would later create some beautiful byproducts of things. And so we go from there and have this conference, and we're late. And Rob Gill comes, who's a partner. So another micro distinction. Like Rob's there. And Rob's meeting Ben, and they're rounding up people because like people were leaving, and we were like 5 hours late because of having to get the jet and the earliest we could go. And the commercial flight's been canceled in the snow. So people are blown away. Ben's blown away, other people are blown away. And somebody there named Nikki Jeffers is like, we want you to help change the unemployment rate for the blind. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What about the unemployment rate for the blind? And there's like 75% of blind people are unemployed. And there's like Kirk Adams, and there's an American Foundation for the Blind. I have no idea what anybody's talking about because I'm blind, but disconnected from the world of blindness. Okay, so pause. So it's like contribution, love, heart, nothing to do with business. So we end up going, I end up going to Business Mastery of Tony Robbins, another decision, spending a ton of money. I'm a platinum partner. At that juncture, I'm a lion, and I'm up on stage. So a whole bunch of things happened for me to get in that position. And lo and behold, Ben Fox is in the audience, and I am busy, and some people on the team weren't as connected to Ben as I would have liked them to be. So he's a little bit on his own. And, and that, like, I would find that out later. It's heavy on my heart, and I was disappointed. But an amazing soul is sitting next to Ben. And that amazing soul's name is Adam Gagino. And Adam and Ben connect, and Adam co-creates beautiful outcomes with Ben while they're there. Ben gives to Adam and learning about different things. Adam is lending some level of physical support as well, and teaching and emotional support for Ben. And like, that's all happening. So just quick 30-second burst, Adam. Tell me what you remember from that encounter at Date with Destiny, what your impressions were of Ben, how that led to our knowing each other. Just a quick 30-second burst on that.
30 seconds. Hard to do in 30, but I'll do it. Yes, I was there. And I was there because at that point, my company was, we were doing $750 million. I had 500 employees. When Ben said he wants to impact the rate of unemployment for the blind, he saw me and my company as an incredible way to do so. So we were literally going back and forth in those breakout sessions, just helping each other, talking about how we could co-create when we get back. And sure enough, we get back, and he connected me with Kirk Adams, president and CEO of the American Foundation for the Blind. We were on our way to make that happen. And I went into the office of the partners. So guys, listen, we need to hire people that are visually impaired. We had won Inc. as one of the best places to work in the country because of our diversified culture, because of how everybody worked together and fun and excitement. And they looked at me like, I don't know if that's the best idea. Sounds a little bit like a liability. We'll donate money, but put it on the back burner. So when I came back and told Ben the story, we got to hold this off, he said, Adam, I'm so happy you made the efforts, but there's one more person I need you to meet. And I'm like, well, who's that? And he's like, remember that guy on stage, the attorney, talking about platinum partnerships? I said, yeah, the guy's Sean Callagy. He's like, yeah, I want you to meet him. I think you guys would be incredible together. He's doing some amazing things in sales, and I want you to meet him. And sure enough, I find out later, number one, you bought him that ticket. You paid for that ticket for him to be there. Number two, this was the last person he had an opportunity for you to meet with, because I think everybody else he was introducing you to was kind of trying to sell you something or something different. But ultimately he went and said, you got to meet him.
Yeah.
And he told me, I was so humbled, and that's how we met.
Let's pause. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love Ben, right? I was so grateful and he's so caring, but sometimes people can get really excited about people being excited to meet them. And what it was very much turning into was people leveraging Ben to come to meet with me to try to sell me things, ecosystem merge, and not ask me what I needed. So they weren't, a lot of these good folks, fine folks, were just coming to sell me stuff. And they weren't, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with selling stuff, but like, I don't need like swampland in Florida. Like, I don't need to start, selling pens in Oklahoma, and I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I'd be like, I got this great idea. Like, we should create the Floby mop together. I'm like, no, you should come into our network marketing company. You'll be amazing. Like, yeah, like I love you, and there's nothing wrong with network marketing. It's not what I'm doing, right? Like, so.
Well, yeah, Sean, you came and met me completely open, amazing. It ended up being the most incredible meeting I've ever had with anyone. I felt heard, understood. I mean, it was like 5 hours later, I don't even think we ordered food. So.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely amazing.
So incredible.
But here's the key to understand who Adam Gugino is and the power of micro distinction. Here's the key. Adam, 2 sentences. Why did you leave your former company and leave millions of dollars on the table? Why did you do that? Watch this now. This is going to apply to you. Watch this now, Adam.
I left because I felt misaligned with the leadership who were focused on profit, and I was focused on purpose and the people that I had grown and built over the last 4 years. And a couple,
Pause. Are you ready? I've never said these words to Adam, right? And I just came off of a conversation with one of my, dear friends, partners, beloved, Michael Smikin, right? Who helped me co-create unbelievable things, including 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, right? And here's the deal. We're just talking about how everything is a story. Everything you tell yourself is a story. Everything everybody tells themselves is just a story. But we all make up stories continuously. Like, there's a story about who you are. There's a story about who your cousin is, your parent is, your child is. It's a story. So Adam had a story that they were about profit over purpose. They like boom, boom, but like story, deeply held conviction. Is that fair, Adam? Like a deeply held conviction.
Fact.
Yep. Fact. Ready? I'm going to make you a bet. Now let's talk about what a micro distinction is. So there's a rule called the 80-20 rule. We've talked about it. It is a certain percentage of what you put in causes what comes out. And what that rule talks about, and we've spoken about it here before, I'll talk about it more in depth soon, but at its simplest is like 20% of input creates 20% of output. But it also is like 20% of the 20% of the 20% creates 80% of the 80% of the 80%. And we call those 0.16 screw turns. 0.16 is 20% of 20% and 20% of that and 20% of that. It's like it goes 20%, 4%, 0.8%, 0.16%. Creates like 80%, 64%, 52%, like 40%-ish. So a fraction of a percent, 0.16, creates like 40% of the output. So meaning, watch this now, a micro distinction could also be called a 0.16 screw turn. Like just the little thing, like if you're missing batteries in the remote control, that micro distinction makes the entire TV work. If you're missing like the pinch of salt in the cupcakes, they may taste incredibly differently. If you have a $700 million company and you send Adam Gugino a text during Business Mastery that says, oh, I hope you're having a fun vacation. The 0.16 screw turn related to the 700 million was pay for the guy's ticket. Send him a message that goes, or don't pay for his ticket, send a message going, hey brother, or send him no message. Or at least say, hey brother, I hope it's amazing. I hope you're gonna come back with amazing things to teach us. I can't wait to hear what you think. Adam, truth. If when you went to Business Mastery, you got a text message that said, hey, you know what? I thought about it. I want to pay for your ticket. I want to send you a basket of chocolate. Please text me what you're learning. I'm so happy and inspired what you did, and see if there's a way I can go with you next time. If those things happened, and when you got back, that's how you're received, and you're allowed to go up in front of the entire team and share everything we're edified for it, is there any, do you leave? Truth. Do you leave?
Truth, Sean, you almost have me in tears right now because you put me in that spot. I'm still there. I have hope that I could influence them to follow my lead and to follow the purpose and people vision. And I'm still there if that happens.
Yeah. 0.16 screw turns make all the difference. It's a pause in the sentence you say. It's how you present. It's all of these micro distinctions. You might go, that's overwhelming. We'll come back to where it's not overwhelming. We have a formula. We talked about the formula yesterday. We outlined the entire thing. We're now going all the way to the other side from general. It's not any specific, but just understand the micro aspects that make or break a marriage. And we're not going to talk about it just generally saying, you got to figure this all out. We have a formula. That's what we're here for, in love, to make sure you get that when we say we co-create simple, fun, and magical micro distinctions and frictionlessness that free exponential abundance in money, time, and magic. That's just a formula and how to associate to it. And I know that's true. And I know where it's true that I was those people. And so do you. You know where there was a micro distinction, you're off and like, wow, I wish I would have made the call. You know, I wish I would have controlled my ego a little differently. I wish I would have followed through and just did what I was learning to run my 10 by 10. I wish that I would have made oh wow, I didn't know that most agreements form after the 6th no. Some say after the 7th no. 18 impressions are now required for people to get a heroic, unique identity. And I'm quitting and giving up and turning somewhere else every time when somebody gives me a no the first time or doesn't say yes in the first time. Holy cow. I just need to touch people 6 to 18 times and they're going to say yes. 80% of the time. Wow. That's unbelievable. By the way, the 80% is not an exact scientific number. That's the 80-20 rule, right? But at a massively different rate, not a little different rate, massively different rate. And if I just make those micro distinctions, then people don't leave. People don't say no. And by the way, guys, let's be clear. My name is Sean Callaghy. I lead a busy life in a busy world. And people come and go in my life. And there are micro distinctions that are involved. And sometimes people need to be transitioned out. And sometimes we could have made one more call and not gotten frustrated. And I'm not talking about anybody specifically. I've had 1,000 people that are not in my life anymore, many of whom I've terminated. And it's wow, and a lot of them, it's been a beautiful transition. Some it hasn't. It's what I could have done microscopically differently that I just decided nope, done, enough, I've had it, right? What could I have done a little differently that would have made it a little bit more of a powerful transition? And on and on and on. I did an assessment at Business Mastery 2, Tony Robbins seminar in Amsterdam. At the very same seminar where I met a powerful ecosystem partner, friend, Fred Pinto, taking amazing things forward. At that very same meeting, I sat down and evaluated all the micro distinctions, the value chains of how I was conducting my medical revenue recovery business, which is amazingly profitable. that 99.99% of people would dream about. 99.99, meaning 1/100th like of a percentile of this country would do backflips to have this thing, right? And I evaluated it and I found that by several micro distinctions, if they were in place, we would have had $35 million more in profit over a 5-year period. And I'm really confident in that number as I sat and evaluated for hours. And so I bring that to you because you're hemorrhaging millions. Don't be upset. Like, you have systems, processes that you're hemorrhaging millions of what you could bring in time freedom, actual dollars, impact and contribution everywhere. And what we're here to do at Unblinded is to help close those hemorrhages, those leaks in the piping. And those leaks are called micro distinctions. Micro distinctions are the tiny, small things that lead to all of the impact. It's the text message to Adam so he feels seen, heard, understood, and he wants to be here because he was in integrity. He would have bled, done anything. Like, you can't find Adam Gugino. You can't make an Adam Gugino. He's Adam Gugino. And when you find somebody like that, you hold on to them like your life depends on it in business. Because it would cost you tens of millions to find another. And what we tend to do is treat like new opportunity differently or people different, take them for granted. Like, and we'll get more to that in the future, but the micro distinction of human relation and realizing that replacing Adam isn't like finding another person. He's virtually irreplaceable. And so the micro distinction is when you find the virtually irreplaceable, what are we doing to keep them? That's not what today's about. It's an example of a micro distinction and many others. And in our process, influence, and self-mastery, as we talked about yesterday in the huddle, like, this is what this is all about. And I decided just yesterday, let's ground. Let's make sure we're all fundamentally operating on the same plane. Because so many people say so many beautiful things about the huddle. I feel great. I'm inspired. I'm motivated. I'm like, I don't want to motivate you. I want to make sure you understand how not to hemorrhage millions. The simple, fun, micro distinctions and frictionlessness that free your exponential abundance. Abundance in what? Money, time, and magic. We're here to have fun, to experience magic, to laugh at times, and to make sure you're not hemorrhaging your money, time, and magic. That's what we're here for. Adam, any final today, brother?
Yes, absolutely. So when you brought me to tears to think back at that moment, I have to say, yes, I would have been there because I felt that I could have influenced them to follow my lead, but I for sure would have hired you as a coach and brought you and Unblinded in to train my team and to work with you. So that is a fact as well.
And that's the truth of the initial vision of this from Ben's perspective was like, maybe you can go in and with Adam and train the people at this company. And so when Adam and I were first sitting down, I was like interested in getting to know him. I really thought that Adam was going to try to sell me something. And when I say sell me, like meaning something I didn't need, something I've been sold a lot of things that I need. Like, I'm really happy I was sold Tony Robbins Platinum Partnership and Lions. I'm spending almost $250,000 a year on it. I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy that certain people that have come into my life have brought new and innovative ways to solve problems for me and I'm paying a lot of money for. So I really enjoy paying a lot of money. I'm really happy I paid for a private jet, right? And was sold on the concept of contribution and paid 30 grand to fly to V-Rate in Arizona. Like, I'm really happy I've bought a lot of things in my life. So I'm not, when I use the word being sold to, what I really should be saying is not heard, not seen, not understood, and being pushed, something being pushed on me I didn't need, didn't solve my problems, and wasn't in alignment with what I was doing, is what I really should be saying. When somebody's trying to force something on me I didn't need. That's what I'm really saying. So in all of that, yeah, it was like Adam and I were going to connect. We're going to make some stuff happen. And that's what we're there to do. So in the chat for today, just share with us what it is for you. We want to hear it. What it is for you that's a micro distinction, 2 or 3, a micro distinction. And by the way, micro distinction is synonymous with zone action. Like micro distinctions in thought produce zone action. Zone action is the most efficient action step you can take to forward your outcome. So you have to like conceive the micro distinction, right? And then take zone action, the most efficient action step possible to bring these to fruition in the most rapid, fun, and magical way possible. So what are some micro distinctions in that you can create right now in your thinking, in your process mastery, right now, 1, 2, or 3? Like tell us, share with us, what are they? And yeah, like let's make those things happen. We're going to come back tomorrow and talk about some of the things that we're hearing, seeing, and experiencing in that, and let's make it happen. So Thankful Thursday, Adam. Final, let's get in our hearts. What are you thankful for in the world? Like something that brings tears to your eyes, lights up your soul, something Adam Gagino is thankful for.
Well, my mom's in the background right here. I'm going to say I am absolutely thankful that my mom is here and that she's been by my side my entire life. And she's in the background hearing me say this right now. So that is what I am thankful for. My unbelievable mother.
Awesome. And I'm thankful on this Thankful Thursday for all of you who are listening, who are sharing. And if you could, please share the huddle. Please share this. Share this with other people. Like send a link, share this, have other people here if you want them to not be hemorrhaging in their money, time, and magic. The loss of millions, the loss of scaling and duplication, the loss of magic and living in pain and limitation and false, like living in lies that are keeping people from their true and amazing, unbelievable destiny. Like that's what we're here to co-create. For me, I'm also thankful that this weekend, my son, I'm going to be going to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and encountering some of the amazing people in Platinum Partnership and friends and ecosystem partners of mine. I'm looking forward to it, even though things are quite intense. And, you know, I'm going to be out there for about 28 hours, flying to Wyoming with a connection and back. And I'm doing it because I want to connect with these amazing people. And what a beautiful opportunity. And I could be looking at, like, oh my God, I don't have time. Like, no, micro distinction is gratitude for it, right? And I'm thankful that my son is going to be spending the weekend down at one of our beach houses with his amazing group of friends. Because when in 1999, when I initially created that outcome, was shocking, was unbelievable, couldn't believe it, that I had a beach house, and not a short time before that, I had $100,000 of debt, and I couldn't possibly see building a business, and all the things that happened over this dynamic, incredible 2 years using the formula and these micro distinctions, that he's going to be down there with his friends. And right now he could really use a little break. He's gone through a couple of, bumps in life, and we all have them, and a little bit of pain. He's got beautiful, loving, incredible friends that have calmed down, and they're going to have some magical moments. And he's co-created that, and I've contributed and co-created that as well. And as a dad, it feels amazing. And I'm thankful to God for all of those feelings. And that tomorrow night, my daughter's going to have her actual second prom. They're going to have one prom, and then they're having two. Longer story for a different day. And I'm just fired up about it. I'm so thankful for it. So, hey, on behalf of Adam Gagino, Fernando Valencia, the entire Unblinded team, all of you, ecosystem partners, 10 by 10 folks, people running the Real Raw, this is Unblinded. And this is about your money, time, and magic. Have a beautiful, thankful Thursday. Love you guys. Thanks.